Now, time on Sounds of the 70s for our special guest, who is Leo Sayer. He launched his career in 1973 and throughout the 70s had 7 straight UK hit singles, all reaching the top 10. In 1977, he achieved 2 number ones in the US back-to-back. The Grammy Award-winning You Make Me Feel Like Dancing and the ballad When I Need You. Born and brought up in Shoreham-by-the-Sea in Sussex, he's been an Australian resident and citizen since 2009. Still prolific, this spring he fronted an all-star band called Kindred Spirit on a song called Think Loud, released in aid of World Parkinsons Day. Hear my chat with Leo Sayer after this.
Baby, though I chose this lonely life.
That's The Show Must Go On by Leo Sayer, who is on the line to me from Australia. And the album that came from, Silverbird, it's got a bit of a birthday this year.
Yeah, it's 50 years ago that we released this record. Isn't that incredible? I think we made it during most of 1972, actually. But when it came out, because it had to be held up, because I'd written with David Courtney, my co-writer, a lot of songs for Roger Daltrey. And Adam Faith, my manager and producer at that time, and David Courtney decided it would be a good publicity thing to let Roger's album come out first. So that came out in late 72. And in early 73, Silverbird was ready for release.
Well, happy anniversary to Silverbird. Are you doing anything to mark the anniversary?
Well, no. I mean, funny enough, it's my 75th birthday, so it was enough sort of celebrating the fact I'm still alive, I think. But I think there's a new master coming out. So I think it's coming out later this year, around about August. And it's a really nice package. I've been overseeing the package and, you know, making sure we got the right double album and all. Unfortunately, we can't do the silver print, which is the only thing that's missing. But anyway, Demon Records are doing it, and it looks very good. It sounds great as well.
Whereabouts are you?
I live between Sydney and Canberra in Australia. I'm about an hour and a half's drive, or 120 kilometres or 60 miles just south of Sydney. And it's a lovely country town. There's another singer who lives here, a guy called Jimmy Barnes. You might remember Cold Chisel, the band. And Jimmy's, of course, a big solo artist here. He lives up the other end of the street as well. So it's a popular place for musicians.
Now, coming back to the UK in the 70s, so you began as a songwriter with David Courtney. Did you have to be persuaded at all to start recording and becoming a professional singer yourself?
It was really all about writing songs and creating songs my whole career. It was only the fact that when we went to Roger's studio with Keith Altham, a great publicist who represented The Who and did one of the first articles on me, he suggested we go to meet Roger because we needed a studio to record in. And that was the only reason. And Roger just said, I love these songs. Could you write some for me? But we already had them written, really. We just gave him one-man band, giving it all away, and a few others. And there he made the album. And it was a fantastic thing to happen. But, yeah, I didn't have to be persuaded to record at all. I was already on a mission, you know, from 1971 onwards. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I prevaricated for a few years. I'd done graphic design and sort of hung around and sung in blues bands, played harmonica with a lot of blues greats. Something happened around 1971. I think I had a nervous breakdown and from the art thing and decided that, yeah, suddenly everybody's in bands and this is what I want to do.
Did you have to be persuaded into the French clown outfit?
No, not even that. No, because the Pierrot was an image that I loved. There was a film called Les Enfants du Paradis made in France at the end of the Second World War. A lovely guy called Jean-Louis Barrault played this character, the Pierrot, in this Marcel Kahn movie. And I just always loved this movie. It was one of my favourite things, you know. And so when I went to do the album cover, which funny enough was done by Roger Daltrey's cousin. When I went to see him, he had a picture on the wall and it was a Pierrot, and he said, how do you see yourself? And I said, like that. I don't know, it's something instinctive told me to say that. And he said, well, look, that's Julien, a clown who I've been photographing, and he's still in town. He's Belgian and he's a street performer, and why don't you put on his outfit and we'll put some makeup on and see what happens. And that was it. They made me up, and got a lovely girl called Kirsty Clymer did the makeup, and I put on Julien's costume, and I looked in the mirror and said, oh my God, that's it. I think I could get away with anything, because I didn't have much confidence, and that gave me the confidence.
Now, let's do your version, a song that you gave away to Roger Daltrey. And who wouldn't want Roger Daltrey to sing one of your songs? But then you also decided, well, you're going to do your version of Giving It All Away.
Yeah, we did it on Just a Boy on the second album, and Adam made it very orchestral, as he liked to do with a lot of my songs.
That's Leo Sayer and Giving It All Away on Sounds of the 70s here on Radio 2, and Leo on the line from Australia. So just to talk about events this year, and it's been a fantastic year so far. 75th birthday, May 21st. Donatella, the woman you've been in love with for nearly 40 years, you decided to get married to her on April the 15th. Why did you do that after all that time?
Well, I suppose we've reached a very peaceful kind of time in our lives, Johnny. It's been a crazy up and down roller coaster, my life. I've had so many kind of rip-offs. I mean, ever since I met Donna, I was singing well and performing well, but really not getting the best breaks business-wise. So it's been up and down, and she's been a real saviour for me. So in the last few years, we did a deal, for instance, with an American company to share my royalties and my estate. And so what a lot of artists are doing now. And we came into a bit of money doing that. And suddenly we're really comfortable. We're really happy here in Australia. We looked at our lives and just said, come on, let's go and get married. So we just did it. It was a spur of the moment thing. We got married in the garden. It was a lovely thing.
Now, congratulations on that. And a question. What have Marcella Detroit and Shakespeare's sister, Stuart Elliott of Cockney Rebel and Kate Bush Band, and John Ilsley of Dire Straits all got in common?
We've all got involved in a song to help the campaign for a cure for Parkinson's disease. And I heard about this from a lovely guy called Ian Grant, who I go back many, many years with, to early Worthing days. And Josh Phillips, who's a keyboard player who used to play with me. And all of those guys are in the band with Josh and with Ian as well. And I just suddenly got this call out of the blue. And I've got a lot of friends who suffer from Parkinson's. It kind of happens at this age, you know, a lot of contemporary friends. And they asked me to do this track. And when they sent me the track, it was such a great track as well. And I thought, well, it's doing a really good job, because this is about a process called Think Loud. It's an actual process that people who suffer from Parkinson's disease can look up this program and do something about their Parkinson's and actually kind of deal with life. So it's not a complete cure, but it's a way to get through it. And I think it's a fantastic campaign. So I was thrilled when I heard about everybody who was on the record, especially Marcy, because I sang with Marcy many, many years ago. She backed me up on an album, World Radio, produced by Arif Mardin in 1983. And I love working with her. And, you know, she's got this famous high voice from Shakespeare's sister, but all the other guys as well. It's been a thrill doing it. And the single's out at the moment. And please God, we can bring some awareness to the project.
And modern technology makes it possible for each person being part of the band to do it in their own particular environment, studio, whatever, including video as well. And then it's sort of all mixed and edited together. It's a brilliant video.
Yeah, I mean, during COVID, I was doing this with my band in the UK because we were all getting frustrated. We couldn't work with each other. So everybody in their rooms, their studios, their bedrooms or their front rooms or whatever, we all put together some songs. It was a hell of a job editing it together. It always is, because there's little sync issues. But basically, you can do it. And I think the pandemic period proved that we could do this. So that gave us the get-go to make it. I sang my bit and recorded it. I recorded it all and sang it in the same day and filmed it all in one day and sent it to the guys. Thought, is this going to be good enough? And they dropped it into the video and it's perfect.
Well, it's available online. The band are called Kindred Spirit, and the title of the song is Think Loud for Parkinson's Disease. And tomorrow is the beginning of Carers Week, the annual week when all caring charities come together and just highlight the role of unpaid carers, the work that they do. Unseen, unpaid, unrewarded, really, 52 weeks of the year. Have you ever cared for someone or been cared for, Leo?
Well, I do know personally a couple of friends who do that job, and it's amazing what they do. And look, we're all getting older. I mean, I'm 75. I don't know about you, Johnny. I'm turning into the old man. And I'm very, very lucky that I've got most of my faculties pretty well working, but I've got plenty of friends who don't, and they do require help. So this is a wonderful campaign. It's really important. And, you know, we've got very talented people our age. It's not only about young people making music, it's guys our age, and we've got to keep them going. I hear that Shirley Bassey is singing great, and I see Tom Jones is singing great. So Bob Dylan's singing great. So these are inspirations, and we've got to keep it going.
Many of us, well, all of us really, have been inspired over the years, and probably still will be, by Tina Turner. And you're actually speaking into a microphone she used in recording. What's love got to do with it? She sang into the microphone you're now speaking into?
Yeah, the very microphone. I'm singing. I'm talking to you from a Neumann U87 from roughly around 1980. This is the actual mic that Tina used in the studio. John Hudson, who was her recording engineer, he had this mic available, and I said, can I buy that? So I bought it, and I love singing with this mic. But just knowing Teen was on it, you know, because she was a good friend. We used to bump into each other all the time, and she actually recorded a song that I wrote, which was a really flattering thing, called Fool for Your Love. So we had more than a connection, I guess, and she was on my TV show, and she was just a lovely person to hang out with, really truthful, honest, and passionate. And she is the true meeting of rock and soul, isn't she? She's just amazing.
Yeah, thank goodness we got all that wonderful music that she made.
Absolutely.
Well, why don't we play Fall for Your Love to end our little chat? And Leo, thank you very much indeed. Congrats on the birthday, the anniversary of the album, and your marriage. And continuing to enjoy good health.
Absolutely. Thanks, Johnny. You too.
Tina Turner and a song written by our guest Leo Sayer, that's Fool for Your Love. And a reminder that Leo's fronting the all-star cast of Kindred Spirit for the song Think Loud for Parkinson's Disease. And they've created both an amazing song and a great video too. The song also features Marcella Detroit of Shakespeare's Sister on vocals, Stuart Elliott of Cockney Rebel and the Kate Bush Band, and John Ilsley of Dire Straits on guitar. Do a search for Kindred Spirit and Think Loud for Parkinson's.